reminding me. Thank you, Mary. Okay.
And Mary's going to show today, isn't
Yeah.
We'll see.
I just want to share the tile that we did yesterday morning and talk just a minute, and then I'm going to show something totally different, and then we're going to get busy. Okay. So give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail here. Okay. No. Lord, I hate it when I click the wrong button. Okay. I'm going to tip this a little bit because then you can see the shading better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is Enzeppel. We just did all 2 tiles, 2 weeks with Enzeppel, right?
Right.
So all she did was a hollabah, regular old hollabah, where
Yeah.
you do the lines that cross. She just did the hollabah really narrow. So rather than the big thick lines we tend to do in hollabah, she made them really narrow, right? And then the entire time we smashed the little balloons, into the spaces. And in this particular Enzeppel, they did ink in remember last time we didn't ink in, and the original Tangle doesn't have you ink in, but you can see it's a cool effect.
Yes.
All right.
And she said what it does is it holds the tile together.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, yeah, that's pretty much what it does. And it's an hour-and-a-half class, and we had 15 minutes left over maybe. And that's when we started doing paradox with weight. I'll show you.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll show you
Neat.
this some other day, but she was just walking us through a technique. We'll do that a different time.
Yeah.
But I
Peggy,
thought you would.
that would
What?
make a good picture frame if you allowed more space in the middle, the first one.
This one.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it would. It could easily be a border.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did is you get into the zen of it. You just keep putting the little bubbles, balloons, eggs, whatever analogy helps in your brain, into the spaces and then ink in. And it was a reminder, and you can see we also did little white jelly roll dots. Just a reminder of the whole idea. And then we chat. Okay, so we get into the zen of it, and then Joanna mainly chats, but we just share. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. And then, as if you needed, here's about as far on the other end of the scale as you can get.
Mm. Mm.
And this is a tile I took a class to do.
Pretty.
And it is about as far away from the zen of this, right? But that's the beauty for me of Zentangle, is that you can walk in any direction that speaks to you, whatever it is.
Beautiful.
Okay, babe, thanks. Okay, so I now have become obsessed with this. And you probably don't know that, but this is a Renaissance tile that this is done on. So I'm going to try it on gray. So I'll get back to you on how I find that experience. So anyway, so I always try to share the ways that I connect with Zentangle, not just the product we produce. For me, it's the process as much as the product, as much as the end result. All right, I'll shut up now and quit waxing philosophical, okay? Today we're going to use 2 tangles, just 2. So it's going to be a simple day, if you will. One of them is a tangle you are familiar with, but we have not done in a very long time. And the other is a brand new tangle that Joanna Quincy just created. So I think you'll find it fun. Okay, So we're going to start. Let me get a tile so that I can show rather than talk. It's always better to show rather than talk. Share. Okay. Okay. So that. All right. So there we go. So I'm going to use an O1 or I may use an O3 so you can see it a little better. And we're going to start with a tangle from headquarters called Kiko. Do you remember Kiko?
Yeah. The name is familiar.
Yes.
Okay. Kiko is fun because it's simple and easy and straightforward, but yet you can do all kinds of interesting things with it. Is that in focus, you guys?
Not
Yeah.
quite.
Yes.
Yes.
Almost.
That's
Let me
me.
just, I'm sorry, I don't mean to make you dizzy. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So Kiko starts with a series of lines, 4 lines. So you start with 4 lines vertical, and then you do 4 lines horizontal. And then you do 4 lines vertical. And you just keep rotating the direction. And then if you're going to do another set underneath, you go the opposite way, right? And then I go the wrong direction. Sorry, I was thinking and not. So basically, you're always the opposite direction. The opposite directions are always next to each other. Is that a better way to say it?
Yes.
So here's a much better example, okay? So basically, I've made a little Kiko wall. So I can keep going. If you've ever done this tangle, you can tell that it kind of looks like a basket weave.
Yes.
And it's really nice if, for instance, you wanted to make, a little, what would look like a little basket, and then you put your botanical tangles coming out of it. People use it all the time for different kinds of, I can't talk and do this very well. Have you noticed? It's because my lines go all off. That is Kiko. Hang on 2 shakes because I'm gonna, if I can do it. Yes, I can. I'm gonna show you a good example if I can find it. Come on, Peggy. Nope, 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 nope. Here. So here's Kiko. Do you see it all along here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in a line.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what Michelle Beauchamp, and that's her, this is her, okay? What she did is she took and she turned Kiko into something she calls macrame. Now we've done macrame. Let me expand this so that it's easier to, not that. That's not what I want. There it is. Okay. And she spelled it in this funny way because everybody always spells or creates tangle names that aren't quite what the real thing might be. So this is macrame. Now let me show you. So you do your 4 lines, and then you do, I've learned, turn your tile, Peggy. Then you do your 4 lines in the other direction, right? And then, see, do you notice how, remember a couple weeks ago I told you I would listen to Maria say, always draw up and down, don't draw sideways?
Mm-hmm.
You have, well, do you notice how when I turn my tile and I'm drawing up and down, I have much more control over my lines than when I was drawing sideways. So macrame starts out with a series of 4 of that pattern. So 4 vertical, 4 horizontal, 4 vertical underneath that one, 4 horizontal underneath that one, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. I just got to move this up here. There we go. Now what you're going to do is we're going to finish off the ends of each of these with a little curve. So watch me first. I go down on the line, then I come up and I do a curve. So if you start a little ways down on the line, it's easier to not see the mark. You can be a little more deliberate. Okay? You're getting that? And then I'm going to turn and I'm going to do the same thing in all 4 of these little patterns. I'm going to close off the ends. Easy peasy. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, what Shelley does when she talks about this, and Michelle Beauchamp is in Tanzania, and she used to do that website and a lot of teaching and stuff, and I can't really find her much. She has done a couple of things in the last year or two, but I have a suspicion she's off in a different direction. But I have used her, and I'm going to show you some of her web pages. I've used her material on a regular basis. So I have a lot of respect for the work she does. When she talks about this, she talks about it as a macrame knot. And if you think about a square knot, right? And she says, I never have the strings come out from the bumps because that's not how macrame works, right? Macrame works where this part is where your rope would come out, right?
Right.
It
Right.
would come out from the open part of the knot. So she always does her thingies that come out, her strings, her ropes, however you want to look at it, from the flat side of the square knot. So what macrame really is have fun. Where might you put your ropes? And you'll notice I'm just leaving them open on the end. And I'm doing that because that's the second part of what we're going to do. Let's see, let's bring this guy down here. And I'm using Hollabaugh, the Hollabaugh technique to draw behind. I think I'll bring another one out of here. And that is macrame.
Mm-hmm.
Simple, straightforward, right? It's not hard. But what I adore this particular tangle. I haven't gone back to it in a while because I was using it incessantly a year or so ago. And so I thought I really needed to branch out a little. But I love it because I love the flowing, the whole thing you can do. So here's the other thing is that you can take your end, right? And you can make it like a little ribbon. You can take the end, make it a little tassel-y thing.
Mhm.
Or if you're obsessed with Muka, you can make it a Muka.
Hmm.
Macrame. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just show you. So here's one of hers. You can all see that, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then here she just puts a bunch of macrame in the middle. And here she goes crazy with them all over. I kind of like this one,
Mhm.
right? And that's macrame. This is why Michelle Beauchamp is one of my favorites. And I'll show you some other ones of hers in a minute, but we'll come back to this particular tile and then we'll go back and look at her. But this is the simple step out. It's not anything more than what we just did. Okay. Let me go back here. So that's tangle number one. Now, based on what we said, yes, the last 2 weeks, what occurs to you about this? What else could this be?
Could be a string.
Hallelujah, it could be a string. So I'm going to show you tangle number 2. And then we're going to create a tile, tangle number 2, macrame, do them in your sketch, wherever you keep new tangles. You can do it on a what is this thing called? Tile. Because I keep some new tangles on tiles and I put them in a box and have, yeah, anyway, everybody tries to figure out a way to keep track of their tangles. But in essence, macrame is going to become the string. Okay? Are you ready?
Can I ask you a question before we go on?
Of
If you
course.
if you wanted to put another uh middle thing there, whatever, what do you call the middle of it?
The knot, the
the
knot.
knot. If you wanted to put another one, would it be separate from all those strings you've now created?
I would probably not have done just one knot if I was creating a tile. Okay.
Okay.
I probably would have done a number of knots
Mm-hmm.
and then I would have connected them. Yes.
Okay, that was my question, because now it's
Yep.
too late to
Well,
add
no,
on to.
because actually what's interesting is it's never too late
Okay. Okay.
because right here, here's my knot.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to speak to Bailey there a minute. So there's my new knot. And all I got to do is use Hollabah.
Yes, I think what I was saying was that you couldn't put it into those strings that you've now created. You'd have to separate.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay.
And I could, if I really was intent on that, if I had left these open, I always have the option of then doing that.
Right.
But typically, Janet, you're 100% right. I would never, never is the wrong word. If I were creating a tile, so when we get to an actual tile, normally I do multiple knots
Correct.
first, and then I decide how I want to connect them.
Got it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, thanks for the question. I just did one because I just wanted to show you the basic tangle.
Mhm.
Okay? All
Yeah.
right, now we're going to learn a tangle called polka. Now, I'm gonna get another tile. Hold on a minute. I thought I had it out, but of course I don't, as that would be too easy. So I'm gonna use a big one because I want to show you some examples. At least I hope I am. Now, come on. Jeez. Nothing ever goes the way you want it to. Okay, so here's the name. Okay, it's Joanna's Tangle. So we all know poke root, right? Where you
Mhm.
start with the stem, you do the hat, you ink in those little sides, and then you do poke root. Everybody's got that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what Joanna says, and I was listening to her talk about this on one of the videos because it was a class I missed, unfortunately, is she was looking for some way to use this same kind of start off, but she didn't want it quite as organic. She wanted it a little more angular. So here's the step out. So you start with that same, you do the same, you kind of put your little hat on and then you ink in.
But it's more angular.
It doesn't have to be. I have found, and this is a me thing, this is not a Joanna thing. I have found that I can keep my little hat smaller and my inked in sections a little smaller, Joanne, so that I control the size of the final tangle, that I can do that better if I just do a little angle.
Okay.
So that's all about me more than it is about her. Now she does it both ways. She does it straight across and she does it at an angle. Okay, so here's step one, okay, of your step out.
Mhm.
Step two, you start down a little ways from where you inked in and you go up with a zigzag. Now, what I'm going to say to you is it will take a couple tries to get the rhythm of this. I can testify. But once you have your start, you go up, in, up, in. Up, in, up, in. The next step, okay, there's our start. Up, in, up, in. The next step is you go from this side and you go up, in, and you meet at the top. Now, what I found, you can go either direction on the second jagged line. I don't know what else to call that. Up, in, up, in. So I have also done it this way, where I go down, in, down, in. But I find you really want these two to be at the same takeoff point. And I tend to do that better when I start from here and go up than I do starting from the top and trying to end in the right place. Did that make any sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
Good. It felt like a lot of words. I'm glad it made some sense. So I start with the inked in part. Then I go up, in, up, in. I'm not at all sure Joanna would describe it up, in, up, in. Up, in, up, in.
Another thing noticing, Peggy,
Uh-huh.
the ones that you've made on the one side over in the top corner, top left corner for me, they don't start at the bottom of the stem, and these do.
No, they don't have to start at the bottom of the stem. The goal, the thing you're aiming for is to be just a little ways away from what you've inked in. You want a little space here. How long the rest of your stem is
Okay.
totally up to you.
I see.
So the tangle pattern basically wants to give you a little room here. Because in essence, you're taking and you're making this kind of a more angular tangle rather than the more organically rounded.
Mhm.
Some people think it looks very steampunkish, you know?
Mhm.
The last thing you do, let me see if I can make this a little longer. So second to the last thing you do is in this top little triangle thingy here, you put a circle, orb, and then you just put some weight on one side of it, which kind of gives it a three-dimensional effect, more like a bolt, if you will. And then her last thing she does in this tangle is she just puts a little line weight to smooth off those edges. So let me go through the whole thing one more time, okay? So I
Mhm.
start with my stem. I put on the hat. I ink in underneath it. I come down a little ways from the inked in part. Up, in, up, in. Then I do start from the other side and go up, in, up, in. And you can tell it's not always exactly the same shape, but it doesn't really matter. You add the orb with a little weight. Let me see, I know I have it. Give me a second here. There it is. Nah, I had it. Sorry, give me a minute.
What is
Things
her name again?
Joanna Quincy. I can show you the top part. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
There we go. There's the step out. So you see, it's the same thing. And then just underneath, you do that. And then on this side, you do that. The orb with the weight, and then the weight on either side.
Hmm.
And then here's an example of her putting a bunch of them together.
Neat. And a couple of them taking off.
And yep. And what she does in this particular example is she takes that top triangle and she just has them go up, and then she just uses
Yes,
dotted lines falling underneath them.
that's mist, right?
I'm sorry, it's kind of mist. Mist tends to be longer and more curly.
Okay. Okay.
So here's her name and her website and Facebook page are Zenjo. That's her business name.
Thank you.
Sure. And she is very much, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, if you go and look at some of the stuff, it's really cool. So I did this, and then I said to myself, I knew I wanted to teach you all polka. So I went, what the hell are we going to do with polka? You know, it's like just a big cluster of polka. It doesn't exactly inspire me, right? So I took a scrap piece of paper and I started playing,
Why?
and I mistakenly picked up a navy blue pen instead of black. So then I started playing with, well, what if I went to another color blue? And so I just fooled around, right? And I thought, well, this is kind of interesting. So I played with this. Now, you know me, sometimes when I get a bug like this, I can't help myself and I pick up an opus tile. As you can tell, this isn't quite there yet. But this was my practice.
I don't see your desktop.
Uh-oh, shit. Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that.
Shit, no.
Let me try again.
Uh,
If you don't see my desktop, that's a bad thing.
I do.
Is it just
I
me or
No, I see it.
I'll start again. It's all
You
right.
do?
I had stuff on
maybe
top of it. There. Can you see it?
No.
it's coming up? Yes.
Yes.
Now it is, right there.
Yes.
Yes.
You got it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, yeah.
So
Good.
here's our polka, right?
Yes.
So all of you saw this part.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, good. So then what I did is I played around and I said, what if I took macrame, which I hadn't done in a long time? What if I took polka and I fooled around with it in a string formed by macrame?
Mhm.
And as I was saying, I accidentally picked up a navy blue pen instead of the black. So then I went, well, shoot. So I tried a darker blue pencil, because you see, this is how you shade macrame. So you shade, think about your, come on, Peggy, think about your knot. Okay. So I'm going to put, I happen to be using Carbothellos because I like the way they,
Blend.
thank you. God, the word would not come. So I'll set it down in the darkest part and then I'll just pull it out. Right?
I should do.
You can see this, right? Now I'm worrying.
Yes.
Okay. So that is how you shade the macrame knot. Now clearly I'm using the wrong pen. So what I did, I've played around with a darker pencil, played around with this color pen if I'm using blue anyway. So I just kind of went nuts, right? So you can see you have to pay attention when you're doing your polkas and you're doing hollabaugh. I had to really think about where would the little in, out be going. Up, in, up, in, up, in, up, in, behind that, right? And then this guy is behind that. And then, so it started getting interesting. So then I said, well, okay, that was fun to practice. So here, I'm going to show you two examples of tiles, our regular 3.5-inch tile, using this as a string. So it's a tiny tile. It's not a huge, gigantic, big one. I put in 3 knots. I connected the knots using the ropes taking the analogy further. And then I picked up the other color pen and I made polkas. Actually, you could say I went a little nuts with my polkas.
Mhm.
A friend of mine, I showed this to Zandra, who's visiting, and she immediately took a picture and made it her phone background. I'm not sure I would do that, but I decided that I would shade my knots the way I showed you with the darker navy. And I decided the only place I would shade the ropes is where they went underneath, right? To give that effect.
The shading's hard to see.
It is. And then I did what she does, which is just shade the polkas themselves until they feel like there's a dimension to them. You know, it's not like shade them a particular way. It's shade them and leave some white space. And then you get a sense that they're like little bolts. If you look at the way she did it, she did not, I had her now, am I going to get there? Here. Do you see what she did? She just shaded like on one side and let the other side contain some of that positive space, negative, positive space, right? Dark, light. So it's not like a rule about this is how you shade it. So I just kind of went with what felt good. Now you can see I did my own variation. So I decided when I had these guys sticking out here, I wanted something. So I continued to make the little hat. And then I went ahead and took the triangle sort of and put the circle. And then I just put a whole bunch of little lines all around it. And here I did the same thing she did with the triangle with the circle in it. And then I just let some of them fall around, you know, to kind of fill in. But when I wanted one of them, when I wanted a polka to jump off the end of a rope, I used the hat and the shading. But this is me. You can do whatever you want. This is just how I thought about it. And so I just went crazy with polkas. Does that help a little
Yeah.
in terms of the shading?
See, yes.
Okay, so then I said, well, now wait a minute. What happens if we stay with our traditional black and white? So I went this way instead.
Ooh.
All right, so this
Yeah.
time
I like the
I
shading
said,
behind. Yeah.
yes, let's change the negative positive space, right? So now what I did is, and I kept trying to figure out how I wanted to shade this. It was bugging me. And I was trying to shade the ropes and trying to shade the polkas. And then I said, you know what? I want the rope and the polkas to jump out. So what I did is I shaded my knots, same way as always. And then I used the dark. Remember, we've got those dark pencils? Oh, no, that's blue. Wrong.
Yeah, the big black one.
The black ones.
Yeah.
And I did everything inside the rope. And then I took my funny little eraser. Do you remember me talking about these teeny tiny little erasers?
Want one of those.
And I made sure that all the polkas were white. And that they didn't have any, you know, of that graphite moving over onto them. And so now the positive negative space is reversed. So rather than the polkas being what I shaded, the background of the polkas inside the string is what I shaded. And then out here, I just said, well, this guy can't just be sitting here with nothing. I'm trying to really be honest with you. This is very much a, you know, just what it feels like. And then you go with it. It's not a rule or anything. And so I said, well, I don't want him to not have any shading. So I just shaded around him. And I said, ooh, look, this guy's kind of peeking up. Let's just shade him right there. That'll be kind of fun. And then I said, oh, well, this guy needs to be shaded by the little thingies sticking out. And then what I did, because I thought it was fun, is I did little dots out. for no reason. Just because it looked silly. I mean, this looks like a one-eyed something. I don't know. It was just fun. It wasn't. And when I realized I was reversing, I thought, you know, that's not bad. That's kind of cool. Not a plan. So, same string, same tangle,
Hmm.
totally
Yeah.
different effect, right?
Yes.
All right.
So here we go. Let's pick up a tile, any tile you want.
Wait, can I take a picture?
Of course you can. Of course you can. I'm going to put my hands here so that the shading shows better, okay?
Okie dokie. Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
So whether you want to use a round, I mean, think about it. You could use a Zendala, right? You could use a bigger 5x5 tile. You could use a sketchbook, whatever speaks to you. Start with your macrame knots. So the first thing, I'm going to work on this. So the first thing I did is I placed my knots. Okay. It doesn't matter what size you're working on, doesn't matter. It's just you're placing your macrame knots. And then you connect them with your ropes, and that creates your string. And if you want, take some scrap paper and do a bunch of polkas so you get the rhythm of the, you know, draw that jagged line out, in, and then be able to draw it the other direction. And you can see it, you have to practice learning how to do that, because if you look at some of my, look at this guy, this poor little pitiful shaped dude. In fact, you can see I made a big mistake. I used a little white jelly roll there because it's easy to lose the rhythm of the shape when you're trying to make sure you're going behind. As I went along, I got a little better at it. Maybe I won't do this. Maybe I'll just pull a tile. All right, is everyone okay? Does anybody have any questions?
Good.
All right. If you do, just holler. That wasn't very good, Peggy.
Thank you. We've got a newcomers luncheon, so I'm gonna bow out right now. Thank you so much. I love this.
You're welcome. No problem.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The fun part about macrame to me is that you can pretty much create anything you want. The way the spirit moves you is totally cool. That erasing I hear,
Let's see.
I won't tell. There's no rules that you have to put ropes out from every spot in the knot. There's, yeah, no rules. No rules. That's interesting. Okay.
Okay. I'll be fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think this is
Whoop. There's a little wonky shape there. One of the reasons I liked this combination is because it uses something that's organic and curvy and then puts with it something that's angular and more severe. I thought it was kind of an interesting combination. Just a thought.
Mhm.
Bailey, what's the matter? Bailey? What's the matter? Are you down there, babe? I just heard her cracking. You know me. Sorry about that. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Okay. Is everybody coming along?
Mm, mm.
Okay, what am I gonna do now? How am I gonna shade this baby? No clue. Okay. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. We'll see. So just so you know, so I'm playing with that negative space thing again, wondering what white looks like in there. I
Mhm,
don't know. That's kind of interesting, huh?
mhm.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's what I'm playing with. We only got about 8 minutes, so we might want to go ahead and, do you want to go ahead and show or talk about where you're at, or what you think?
You're the boss.
Oh, I'm the boss, right? Let's see where you are. See how you're doing. How's it going? Are you feeling
Okay.
like okay. I'll take that. So are
Okay.
you feeling like you got to start at least?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey, you know what I had trouble with, surprisingly to myself? I tend usually to make the tangles too small.
Mm-hmm.
The polka, I couldn't keep them small. They got huge.
Yep. I did the same thing, Mary, when I first started working with this and doing my practices. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. I had a really hard time. It's probably going to look weird here, but okay. Because you see this guy, there were such variation in
Mm-hmm.
the sizes, and I couldn't keep it, I couldn't contain it. It kept getting so big. So what I did that helped me, now I don't know, everybody is different, but what I finally ended up doing was I ended up, when I did this, and I have the same thing. There's another tangle called Rixty, and I have the same problem with that because basically you go like that, and I would always make it too big, and then it would take over my whole tile. So
Mm-hmm.
what I found is, and this is what I was talking to Joanne about at the very beginning, if I make the hat a little bit curved, more curved than I would think I would do it, it kind of forces me to keep the inked in part smaller
Mm-hmm.
because it comes at a curve, so I don't go all the way out and turn it into wings. And once I keep that a little smaller, it was easier then to keep my zigzag line more contained. So that was just something I started doing. So I would start to go, okay, well, now let's make it even smaller. So I wouldn't come out very much at all.
Oh, okay. I'll try that.
And then the more I did that, the more I was able to keep my zigzags tighter in. And if I keep the zigzags tighter in, then the polka isn't as big.
Okay.
Just because I had the same problem, so I get it. Okay, does anybody want to share? Mimi, do you want to share?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm finished, but
Oh, cool.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna do brown, I think. I started to put a little brown in it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
cool. I like it. Janet, do you want to share where you're at?
Okay, I look like I have a kidney and a bladder.
Yeah, well, I can relate to that too.
Well,
I love it.
Okay, that wasn't great.
No, but once you fill it all in, you won't see the kidney or the bladder, so it'll be okay. Mike and Myra?
sure.
Yep. I was like Mary. I was my first couple polkas were
Polkas.
very large, and then I was working on
Oh.
getting them smaller. So,
But
Yep.
they look great.
well,
Yep.
thanks. Yep. It was
They look
good.
super.
Thanks. Yep.
Okay, here's mine. So far, I still have a lot to go. Get a few to-
I love your polkas. They're
But-
triple
do
zips,
too.
fun.
They're great.
triple zigzags. I love
Yeah,
it.
triple zigzag. Yep.
I love it.
I didn't
You know-
know where to stop on the
Well,
zigzag.
it's funny because there's another tangler that looked at Joanna's post of her step outs, and he took and he made them three-dimensional.
Oh my
So
goodness.
he took the zigzag and then pulled it out so it looked three-dimensional. So it actually looks like bolts. I'll show it to you before we leave. It's really funny. Mary, do you want to show or you want to pass?
Me, Mary?
Yeah, you're the only Mary here today. Can you believe
Oh,
it?
that's right. No, but I will show, I've been working very diligently on the last couple of weeks' videos, and this is what I have so far.
I cannot wait to see. Oh my gosh,
Beautiful.
that's
Lovely,
awesome.
Very
lovely.
nice.
Look at your Arucas. That's perfect.
Nice, nice.
I'm
I
working
love it.
hard.
It looks fantastic.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. Joanne, do you want to show, darling? You need to unmute. Perfect.
Just working in my notebook.
Nice.
Nice.
Neat.
But my polkas are big.
I know. Trust me. I get it. It takes time. You got to play with that zigzag. Getting the zigzag rhythm that doesn't take off. I know
Exactly. Yeah. Well, but I used the notebook, so I'd have a lot of space.
space. Well, I really think that's why I ended up on the Opus style. I'm like, oh wait, let's just go big. Love it.
It's fun
Thank
though.
you.
It's fun.
That's great. Marie, are you going to show, darling?
Well, I will, but it's just disjointed.
Well, welcome to the club. No,
Yeah,
it's
really
perfect.
nice.
Good.
Look at them.
Very
They're
good.
great. Put that, Marie, hold it up a minute.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yes.
your knots are
Yeah.
great. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
It's great.
Awesome.
Good.
Good job. Susan
So-
Scheschler, you want to go? I apologize.
The green again?
Look at
No,
that.
it's not green.
Nice.
No, it
I
looks
like that.
great.
Wow. Cool.
Like
Very
that.
cool.
That's really
Neat.
I
nice.
love it.
I like that. idea.
Incorporated different things in there, the little bells that I love.
Yeah,
Always.
Very
It's
good. I like the
awesome.
Vespues.
Yeah, I think I want to put hats on all of mine.
and
Yeah.
Mike has developed a new tangle. We'll tell Joanna, right?
Peggy,
Yes.
you know, I started out this morning telling you that I enjoyed making the 2-week thing, a
Yeah.
different thing. I want to show you this because I think we did this is not the one you showed us, I don't think, but I think we've done this thing that I have in the middle, and I'd like to
Okay.
know what it's called.
Hmm.
This,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did that last week.
I know what it is.
no, I think there's,
Rucas.
yeah, but that's what it was.
No, I don't.
No,
That's
no.
not. No, that's not
No.
a Rucus.
Nope.
That's shit. I
It
knew
has a
this.
name.
Always what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I have it in my book too. but-
I
Yeah,
think
I
we
got
did
it.
it early on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you're right.
Rucas.
No, it's not a Rucus. It does a
No.
similar thing, but it's a different tangle.
Yeah,
I'll look it up. I promise.
A
I could-
Rucus. A
No.
Rucus.
Nope. No, it's something else because I could see that I wasn't going to form a star, a good, nice star. So I just stopped. And I think that we did this very early on in our classes, and
Yeah.
it had a name.
I'll look it up, Janet. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay.
Susan, the other Susan. You want to show?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
hang on. I'm spotlighting. I'm just a little slow
Oh.
here.
That's lovely.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Very
Oh,
nice.
Good
neat.
Lovely.
job.
Yeah.
I was making them so small. I started in the small area and I got frustrated. So I wanted to anchor it, and that's why I made the two big ones at the
Yep.
bottom here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not
I
sure I
love
like
it.
them, but
Oh, yeah, they're
I
cool.
think they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I think then the one that
Okay, hold on.
Dan was- this oh
Go ahead, Mike.
this was called Arucus.
Yeah, that's what I put down too.
That one there, I think
Yeah.
that's what she's trying to say or trying to do. It's called
Um,
oh, she says no, but mine look like hers.
I'll look. There are two different tangles that are really similar between Arucus and the other one.
right.
I'm
Well,
sorry. Every time I
and-
want a tangle name to come to the front of my brain, it always moves immediately to the back. So I
Well-
will find it.
Yes, Arucus was what I started to try to make, but as I said, I didn't think it was going to come out right, so I stopped. And now it looks familiar as another something. So,
Okay, then, yeah.
I will look.
okay, that'll be your project.
That will be my project. I
You,
promise.
you just need a little something to do, I know.
I know. I promise there is another tangle and I'll look it up. I promise. All right. Did we get to everybody? Everybody good? So now next week you can show your finished one. Cool.
Oh, can I show my finished?
Yes, I wondered if
shaded?
anybody wanted to show from last week.
Yeah. Well, I have, this one I finished.
Beautiful.
That's cool.
And
Very
this,
nice.
well, and this
Very
one
nice.
has not finished. I'm doing the enzeppel around the outside. It's kind of becoming a board. I'm not crazy
Oh, okay.
about it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too small.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like it small.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I agree.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
Well, luckily, whatever you decide is right. So there you go.
But I'm wishing I had just gone all the way out to the edge and made it bigger.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
I-
cool.
play with it.
It's cool. Does anybody else want to show something that I am
From
neglecting?
last week after we shaded, I have one.
Okay, hang on.
But I shaded it, but
Oh,
Very
cool.
nice.
Ooh,
Very nice.
gorgeous. Yeah.
I love your enzeppel is lovely. Okay, anything else?
Yeah,
Peggy, I just wanted to ask, is it helpful to you if we let you know we're not going to be in class, or doesn't it matter?
No, it helps. It really does.
Okay.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know
I
that.
can't be there next week. I have a teacher's luncheon once a month, and that falls on the third week.
You got it. You got it. I appreciate knowing that.
Yeah,
It
but
just
we-
is a way for us to kind of figure what's happening. That's all.
We have to tell you in advance.
I'd like to show you last
missed a
week.
Okay,
couple
Susan, 1
classes.
second. Give me 1 second. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Well, I said in the future, we'll try and tell you, because we missed several classes while we were back and forth. So I'll
Well,
let you.
I guess I kind of figure when you're not in your regular place,
Right, yeah, we're in
that,
and
I don't worry so much about you guys.
out. Okay, good.
If that
Okay,
makes sense. So,
good. Yeah,
because I know you'll be in and out because you're not home, So,
all
I
right.
mean, you're kind of home, but you know what I'm trying to
Yep,
say.
I know what you mean.
All
Thanks.
right, Susan, you got something from last week.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yay.
Nice.
Like
I
that.
like the
I like-
pink.
Yeah.
Pretty.
That
Now,
is
Sid-
nice.
That's just chalk. Just chalk.
Now, Susan, that does have teal in it, or the color that you said was in there last week. Remember,
Yeah,
hers
it's a
was,
little tealy. That's her camera.
I know. I just
Okay.
tried to try another camera, but I don't know. But
But
Janet,
looks
it's
good
not
with
as
the-
bad.
this is what I think Janet was talking about.
Yes, it is, Susan. We had 2 weeks, remember? One week
Yeah.
she showed us how to make it. The next week she showed us different patterns and we should do one on our own. That's what I was doing, a Ruckus.
Oh,
I was
okay.
was
What does
starting
it
to
say
do,
on the back?
huh?
What does
What?
it
Yeah.
say on the back, Susan? What tangle is that?
I didn't write on the back.
Because I
Yeah,
remember
No,
years ago.
it's
Shruga.
okay. It's okay. You can start, you're starting off doing arucas. I get it.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
there is another tangle that is similar and it ends up with a different result.
Yes.
I'll do the research, I promise.
Yep,
There
gotcha.
was
Thank you.
one we
Yep.
did called Shamruka that we did around St. Patrick's Day. Shamruka?
I don't know anything about shamruka, so
Yeah. Oh,
I'm off on that one.
anyway.
There's a regular tangle pattern. I'll find it. I promise. I'll find it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. End of subject.
Yeah.
It's okay. Anybody can, yeah, whatever.
Well, thank you, Peggy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
And
you.
all have a
Thank you.
great week
Enjoy.
and we'll see you next Friday.
All right. Enjoyed it.
Bye.
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 bye-bye.